is done to make our way on in. Yomi Tanuki looking to try and grab their first win of a game, let alone a set here. Take a little bit. And that's interesting to see because, for my money, Hex Mambo have been doing a pretty good job in pressuring out Farm. And talking on that, Johnny going in for a rotation here with level 5. Out comes the Ishtar ult as well. Beads are down on Emil. And Street Cup's in a bit of trouble. Blink forward by Johnny.
Wow.
And that's the execute for first blood.
And Ice is still here. Johnny lands in the jungle. Will not look for any more aggression. Lad shield as well for Hex Mambo and Tanuki, respectively. And then you get to start thinking about rotations.
Well, Deathwalker might have wanted to start thinking about it, but gets forced to beads out from the Fearless. We'll be able to disengage for now. That health bar gets CC'd down a little bit. Again, on a wild roller coaster right now. There was the execute threshold. Mitigate wounds is there for now.
Ooh.
Deathwalker immunes it out, but puts himself rooted in place, so Hawk is able to grab that one. However, the whole time, Yomi Tanuki used that opportunity to grab themselves a Fury. The plan is there to do that. Now we are going to see a bit more of a rotation in. Zeus already put very low. Hawk is being aggressed on.
Okay.
Good pull back on in. The dash is there. But look at Ice cutting off the retreat. And that's a free pick. Now
okay.
Pull 2 in with a massive blink. But a fantastic Scarab's Blessing keeps one of them alive. Deathwalker now trying to use that movement speed to full advantage. I mean, the rest of the team there, some great peel gets them away to safety, leaving this at just a 1 for 9.
Johnny's still around the backside, though. They could look to dive this.
They might be going for it. Julio's more than comfortable for it. There's the blink from Johnny. Emil's being picked up and keeping everyone away. Zero's forced to beads, leaving Emil under the tier 1 tower, which marks his grave. Deathwalker rotates back in, pushes Johnny, who pushes him right back, and now Spudio's rotation could cause some trouble, but the mitigate wounds is there. So tier 1 tower goes down, and Hex Mambo is starting to turn the pressure on.
And they're going to get a good root onto Deathwalker here as well. Johnny, no ult available, but at least try to trade in the blink of an eye. And then you have to wait for a while to get those cooldowns back up. But you pair that with, you know, double crit characters for DPS, it's a much better look.
Maybe a better look as Deathwalker trying to brute force their way on through in towards the Fire Giant pit. Ishtar ult not hitting home for many members. Lawbringer over the wall. They are looking to try and take down Zeros, who ends up at about 400 HP. For a threshold, they have to be careful. Shaq gets pulled back in and CC chained, but Hawk has a huge bomb. It's not enough. Streak Up credited with the kill after Ice kicks him back into tower. Johnny can't find a home. Deathwalker's got eyes on them, so they'll be forced to disengage.
Yeah, Johnny.
To find the kill is Streak Up. These crits, man. What's that crit chance? What's that, 50% crit chance with the items? And they say crit is dead. Yeah, enough is definitely correct, because now Fire Giant's being started up by Emil. Ice and Deathwalker do what they can to zone everyone away, but Hawk is just deleting members. Fire Giant, though, will go down to the Yomi Tanukis. Julio not able to secure that one. But as a result, they still lose Ice, and there's a chase from Hex Mambo, but I don't know if they've got enough gas in the tank.
Yeah, they're gonna fit Lawbringer over the wall. As long as they can manage to get Emilito out of these fights alive, if they make Hex Mambo collapse like that, it's gonna be looking pretty good.
Hawk getting aggressed on again by Emilito, but doesn't get the duck.
Julio's hunting, bro.
Unfortunately. Yeah, he's looking for it as Emil's left alone, and there's no one else there. In fact, Emilito may have to get away with the ult. It may be forced from them, but Johnny's picked up Ice around the back with Deathwalker in tow. Zeros cannot find a hit, so Johnny gets to blink! Are you kidding me? Now, though, Julio may be in some trouble themselves, forced to beat, but the rest of the team is there, and Hawk's positioning. That one fireball stops everyone in their tracks.
They have nefarious intent here on this tier 2 tower, Blur. Look at the positioning on the sides.
So far, Johnny looking for the group around, but it's Julio to lead it in. Emil will have ducked them back into the Phoenix, but it's just fine. They are healthy enough. No, never mind. The detonate from Zeros is good. They get themselves on the board. Tier 2 tower in mid goes down, and Oni minions are starting to make their way. But Yomi Tanuki, they're going aggressive. They are leading a charge back, but I don't know if they can catch up.
And Root is missed there from Shaq, so will still be hunted down by Deathwalker. Needs to use the Night Terror.
In this situation of gridlock, keep an eye on the mid lane. Johnny's looking to try and catch Ice in on a rotation, and he'll finally blow him up in 2 shots!
He's dead immediately, and now Julio looking for a little bit more, riding that momentum. Shaq comes forward, gets pulled, gets pushed back in, but will hit that rock, and now Julio's going in.
Go and look for Deathwalker. CC immunes it out. Deathwalker again, just more than comfortable tanking this up. So it's Fire Giant start. Ice gets beads on Johnny, but the burst was too much. As ML tries to lead a charge back on through. This Fire Giant is getting low. Rolling Dawn will not steal away the Fire Giant. Hex Mambo grabbed him first enhanced. And now might be looking for a few more picks. If Zeros has anything to say about it, though, that will be shut down. Julio, however, has other ideas. It's still going, and Johnny's more than happy to keep this there. Stops any return to push them into the tower. Zeusalt is available to try and siege this. This might be a long one here. Zeusalt does come down and put some good damage in. Deathwalker's back at half HP, and that's just enough to keep him busy. The minions start going in. Spudio wants to push them in further, and the Phoenix is starting to melt.
Up getting good damage here. Johnny gets the execute off onto Emilito as the Phoenix does end up going down in favor of the Hex Mambo as they realize Zeros had to back up there. Now the rotation coming back across mid blur. No Zeus available, or excuse me, no Zeus ult available, and no full Kepleri available right now. Means that Julio gets to stand all the way over here on this right-hand side and get ready for this engage on the second Phoenix.
Go for it again. It's Deathwalker who's the target. He doesn't have that extra support from the support. Zeros takes down Spudio, and a kick back in onto Julio from Ice will put a little bit of damage through. Either try and overcommit to a fight or just try and burst down this Fire Giant here. They will trade out mid-Phoenix by the looks of it for this Fire Giant. Deathwalker's in, but Emil's not going to be able to do much to help it. Hex Mambo grabbed the Fire Giant here. They'll lose mid-Phoenix and probably right as Phoenix. Well. But they're okay with this because Streak Up's getting detonated down in the backside, but just about gets away. Johnny, though, has been spotted out, and Streak Up pushes them away. Into the backline goes Julio, and now it's Johnny's time to roam and dome.
And he gets that kill down. Streak Up very low, but look at Ice, he's going for the end.
Oh, but Spudio's come back in time, as has Hawk as well. This should spell the end for this one. Ice put on Ice as well, and now Julio can tank up this mid-Phoenix. It was an attempt to go for a base race there, and unfortunately, Yomi Tanuki couldn't stop Hex Mambo on fire. They couldn't stop them running down the rest of the team, and now I don't think they're going to be able to stop them taking down this Titan. It's only Julio and Johnny so far, as Johnny has to beat it away, and with that, that should pretty much spell the end. This Titan is getting low. The rest of the team is not here yet. Deathwalker is more than capable of holding one, maybe two, but not 4 or 5. It will be a Herculean task and a swan song for the Yomi Tanuki. A win for Hex Mambo, but Yomi Tanuki looked very impressive. The whole glide protector's surge, I think that counts as a jump as well. So Serket, Horus, Tiamat, Jingwei, all 4 of these gods are going to have trouble for this Awelish here as we go on in to game 2. It's going to come down to Johnny's discretion as to who they end up focusing here. And honestly, we saw a lot of bit of pressure into the duo lane. Are we expecting something similar from Johnny on this pick?
Allowing Ice to get to this blue buff basically uncontested. Gonna have to make some creative footwork to get out of this one.
Oh boy. No blink available to them. There's the ultimate from the Earthbreaker from Julio. They catch the dash though, and that's a big one. Johnny showing up Ice again in game 2.
And you could see exactly the thought process that was building anyway, because you want the Chronos Pendant at some point. Gives you the cooldowns, or excuse me, the MP5 required without a whole lot of investment.
Nice work from Deathwalker, keeping off 2 members, but getting very low in the process. Pulled back on up, and taken down by Johnny. Ice, more interested in the camp, pulled back over the wall. Would have been the case had beads not been there. So Johnny goes ahead and expends the ult to grab beads. And it looks like it may not be dual lane that Johnny's focusing, but actually just Deathwalker.
I was actually just about to say that we love Rotwin in his gameplay where I come from, but Shaq has looked great, and Ice gets a great taunt.
Really nice work to hit 2 of them. Johnny ends up pushing low. Now Ice on the aggression for Johnny. Speed buff versus speed buff is there. Blink out. Deathwalker goes ahead and kicks them back towards that mid lane where Hawk has fallen to zeros. And now Johnny just about gets over the wall thanks to Suku. And all in all, this ends up as a one for none. But it's Hawk.
Should also be incredibly safe here, unless Ice has something to say about it.
Ice in the ambush, set it up. Not one over the wall. Spudio throws out the ultimate as well. Streak Up taken to half HP.
not.
There's a big rotation from the rest of Hex Mambo. It's a 4v4 situation here around the Gold Fury pit. Shark forced to use the ultimate to be a bit aggressive here. Emil very far forward, gets isolated out. Johnny looking for a potential pickup, but it's not needed. Shark's the one who takes down the kill. And now they're all around the Gold Fury. If they can find one more or push everyone away, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. Ice gets forced to beads as the ult comes out again. And they're just going to take him down regardless of it.
Oh my god, I hate to just spend all set long slurping Johnny in his gameplay, but it has looked so good, man. He blinks forward for the gravity surge, and we'll see Streak Up look for the 1v4. Excuse me, Cardinale's much better than Jing Wei right now. Should be pretty good.
Oh, that's a dash. Oh, Streak Up dashed back into lane, and there's 3 members around them. BRZA gets a force. This tower is no safe haven for them. Spadio credited with the kill. But great work to go ahead and try and punish this one. Even if they got a TKO, I think they'd have been happy, but seeing Streak Up beads and had no ult further away, thanks to a little bit of work from the Tiamat Whirlwind. And so now Pyromancer being looked at. First I thought it might be Fire, but we're only 17.5 minutes in. Streak Up's made the rotation, a bit faster than Spudio's, thanks to that passive. And so as a result, Yomi will go ahead and grab Pyromancer, but Emil was just too far forward. And so as a result, an unfortunate spot means that Emil goes down.
Deathwalker forced to the skies will be able to get out of here much tankier. I mean, as a result of that, it's the Hex Mambo that continue to play aggressively for To the Skies coming in.
Ice. It's coming in as Ice looking to try and buy some time. Shark is the one who eats the ult again. Deathwalker around the back. Gets a good CC, and Streak Up's there to follow up with some damage. They'll find Shark, but it's only Fury for your support. And ever since the game's release, trading one...
But we're gonna have to do it soon.
Fire Giant is going to try and bait members in. Ice here at 70% HP. Deathwalker leads the charge on through. Everyone's still on it, and Hex Mambo grab themselves the Fire Giant without any real contest here. Ice throws out the ult again onto Shark. But in the process, eats way too much damage. Into the Skies gets a couple members out. But again, Emil is so far forward on this pick, trying to keep members away, but Julio's forcing ults from Streak Up, and a big 2-man taunt comes back in. Johnny not able to get a pullback off of it, throws out the ult, but Emil's still going to end up going down here to Johnny nonetheless.
And they do successfully land the kill onto the Aphrodite. That looked dicey there for the Hex Mambo.
You know, the jungler with the better KDA means that their teams usually won the game. You look at it, it's 0-3-1 versus 5-0-3 as Deathwalker, no beads, and on their own means they have no way of getting out here. The rest of the team is pushing up this left-hand Phoenix. There is a teleport in from Julio, which is enough to scare everyone else off on the backs, but you mentioned that Ice is the one starting to dictate this game. We'll have to see whether that ends up playing out here, as no one on Hex Mambo is letting Yomi Tanuki's run this one for free.
Johnny is around the backside, has Shaq with him. This could be the engage they're looking for.
Could very well be Boulder from Julio to stop any teleports. Blinks coming through, and the Earthen Fury as well. Emil is the one being CC'd, holds the ult for a very long time, as everyone else does get away. Blink out from Ice, but a blink from Julio, and a pull back in on Zeros, and Spadio just tears them a new one.
Johnny in that ult, still forcing his way forward. Streak Up gets the knock-up, movement ability comes out from him and Ice, but it's Hex Mambo blinking forward.
He still had blink after all that? He walked that distance to get that pull.
Damage that I didn't think he'd be falling so quickly to. Ends up falling there, and then Emilito gets the Undying Love forced out there in a situation where didn't get a whole lot of value out of it. Now it's the Hex Mambo on the right side.
Julio round the back, hits up Streak Up, and that's a good look for him. Streak Up ends up falling. Ice finds Shark, who is taking the tower, and Ice tries to leap away, but Ice ends up put in the dirt thanks to a great gravity surge again from Johnny, who has just put the entire team into the ground. Yomi Tanuki's Titan under duress, under 50%, and that is going to be the game here. Yomi Tanuki's take Hex Mambo